Are you scared?
Yeah, terrified. We could get arrested.
Wait, why?
Wait, what are you referring to? I was referring to our guest today.
Yeah, me too. Why could we get arrested?
It was a joke. We can't get arrested. He can't do anything to us. He can
Oh,
only save us.
I'm just excited. I feel like I'm on a date. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
It's
it's
like
a.
an internet girlfriend that we had that we're like finally getting to meet IRL.
What if he's been catfishing us this entire time?
Possible.
You know,
It's possible.
it's an expensive con. Speaking of,
Quite. Yeah. I guess the joke's on him.
the Jody's on us. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you're just tuning in, we have Jody Sellers on the podcast, and he's if you could watch the video on YouTube, and you could see he's holding a championship belt of some sorts as he's trying to get his audio going on Zoom. No rush, Jody. We'll vamp.
Yeah, we're just gonna vampire.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said court attire, right? So this is what I do when I'm walking the courtroom. So
We did say court attire, yeah.
good,
Wait,
good.
I would pay to see that, to see you come in with that belt on.
Yeah, I wish I could, man. Judges would probably kick me out. I'm going to lay this down.
What is there? Is it heavy, the wrestling belt?
Yeah, it's probably about 10 pounds.
Does it say anything like specific? Like you got to get a you you got to sell that. Some
Bring it
Jody's.
up. We actually made this a couple of years ago. It's got the law firm logo.
That's what I was just thinking. It should have.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys know I love wrestling. I've loved this since I was a kid. And so when we started doing those events, we had one made, and people love it, man. Everybody wants a photo with a championship belt, even if you don't like wrestling.
Wow, that is very cool. Welcome to the podcast, Jody. We were just saying before you got on that this feels like we're meeting an internet girlfriend.
Yeah, this is
2
exciting
years,
for us.
that's right. Now we're face to face finally.
And we were worried that maybe you were catfishing us, but we knew enough about you by going to the Sellers Law Firm on Instagram.
770-415-9848.
Man, look at that. I didn't have to show you the hat. That's great, Joe.
I memorized it. Yeah, I have my hat here. Let me grab it.
I don't have a hat.
You did get a hat, but Joe's address, so you can track him down.
Okay, I can't. I mean, maybe I have to wait a few weeks, but that's okay.
True.
I sometimes like when my wife cooks Italian food, I'll put on this kind of like I don't even know what kind of hat it's called. Not like a fedora, but like one of those like old man caps.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But now I'll put this on. Oh, this is exciting! A call.
Yeah, I'm not answering that on a live video.
I was hoping. It'd be so fun to put it on speaker and see. So this is your office. Well, this is so beautiful to see the Jody Sellers lifestyle.
Oh yeah, we love it. We are being
large.
safe though, so like I'm the only one in the office today, and we're actually doing a lot of virtual stuff. But I have to come in once a week. Mail piles up. People are still sending things. Courts are still open, just virtually. So.
Oh, calls are still coming in?
That's fun. So wait, do you think people are calling right now and they need like legal advice and you're like just
I'm
like
hoping.
messing around with us on a podcast?
Well, luckily I have a great staff, so they screen the calls, they set up the appointments and consults. So we've got you scheduled, so you have an allotted amount of time today, guys, and then I'll move on to other people.
Oh,
Wow.
All right. Very professional outfit, unlike us.
We got to try. So how's New York, man, with this Corona thing? This is crazy.
It's a little weird. I mean,
Yeah.
yesterday was kind of nice in terms of it was a beautiful day out, so we went outside, and everyone's kind of going about their business. But at 7:00 every day, at least on my block, I can hear people cheering for the healthcare workers and the essential workers. Like everyone goes nuts at 7:00, and it was like really, really nuts yesterday. Someone played the entirety of Frank Sinatra's "New York, New York." And like, I hate that song, and I hope it doesn't happen every time. But it was nice yesterday, that one time.
Yeah, that's great.
It was nice.
Similarly, we have, that's the one time in your day that you feel like you live in New York, because otherwise you're just in like the rooms of your house, and it doesn't matter. Like you could be literally any state. So it's weird. I was thinking the other day, like I miss the city, which is anybody who lives like in Queens or the other boroughs, like Staten Island, Brooklyn, like we refer to Manhattan as the city. And I was like, I miss the city. I miss, it's so weird to be here and be like, I miss that place that I could literally see from my window. But it's just like walking around there is just so much, it's just so different than, even
I
like
think it's kind of a ghost town over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine. My wife actually works in Atlanta. We live outside the city limits, but it's kind of the same thing for her. She still has to go in once a week, and it's a ghost town apart from a few places. So
What does she do?
she's an attorney as well.
Wow.
Power couple.
But yeah, she works in Atlanta, and it's been kind of nuts there too.
Is she on the other side? Is she more of a prosecutor?
She is. Not
So you guys ever, I was going to say, do you ever go head to head?
Yeah, no, she's more on the civil side, but she still takes the role of a prosecutor in what she does. A lot of administrative work.
Uh-huh.
What podcast does she sponsor?
None. And yeah, she thinks I do a lot of crazy things when it comes to advertising, and I know I do as an attorney, but I love it, man. Like,
Yeah, we love it too.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Does she know you sponsor us, or is it like a dirty little secret?
No, she knows. Probably not to the extent.
Okay.
How often.
We won't tell. That's attorney-client privilege. We won't
Hey,
tell
there
her.
you go. And all the people watching, right?
Yeah, of course. They're on our side, Jody.
That's right. Yeah, they're for us.
Everyone's going to be so excited to see you.
I'm glad. Good.
I mean, people have seen you by
Most
going.
people usually aren't, so that's great.
That's funny. Yeah, but I think this is like a long time coming, and we're glad you're here. And we should definitely get right down to business. Tell us the craziest murder. I don't know. We should have planned a little bit more, but yeah.
How did you discover us? Like, what made you decide to contact us to have us sponsor you, or you sponsor us?
It was kind of, I guess, following, Tell 'em Steve Dave. That's kind of where I started in the podcast. And then, Cube obviously blew up with the Impractical Jokers. So I sort of started watching that, I guess, the official podcast that Casey did. And obviously I heard you guys on What Say You as sort of the backup squad. And again, I'm always doing different things in advertising. And this was just kind of out of left field, and thought I'd try it out. I've actually advertised on other podcasts before, wrestling podcasts, believe it or not.
I believe it.
Yeah, 100% believe it.
This one's a lot more fun.
Oh,
more
good.
interactive, and you guys are just hysterical, so it works out. It's
thanks,
my kind
man.
of attitude. So
No, it's so helpful. It's honestly like we really appreciate it.
What do you think is the craziest advertisement sort of scheme that you've done?
wow, that is actually a great question.
'Cause I'm sure there's been a lot of live events. I see that you're always doing charity events and live events.
Probably sponsoring a sports team. Didn't think that was anything I'd ever be able to do, but there's a lot of semi-pro athletes and teams around Georgia. So we actually sponsor a local soccer team, the Georgia Revolution. So we have like our logo on a soccer jersey, and I've loved soccer since I was a little kid. So again, fulfilling my lifelong goals of being
fantastic.
A soccer equivalent of some sort. And
Are they like a Bad News Bears, or are they good?
No, they're pretty good, actually. They've got a couple of folks who have signed with Atlanta United. That's the Major League Soccer team, their second division. So, I mean, they're a pretty legit team.
Nice.
They play out of Henry County, just south of Atlanta.
Did you play sports, Jody?
Yeah, I did. I played soccer my whole life. Then I played football and soccer in high school, and played rugby at UGA in college. So I've always loved it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was always a lot of fun. You guys are athletes too, right?
Yeah.
Athletes? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. We love athleticism.
Yeah, every kind of athleticism you can name, we've conquered.
Yeah. Moving.
That's what I thought.
I was actually messaging with like some friends from my whole life, and one of my friends, we went to like elementary school together, and our basketball team won the eighth grade, like the championship. And it was, I saw a photo of us recently, and I was like, and I showed it to Lisa, and Lisa was like, what? Like, people talk about these stories like when you win these championships like forever. And I forgot about it. And I was also watching, because I do like basketball. Like, and this whole Michael Jordan documentary is great. And I was watching a lot of YouTube clips of, I watched one of like Dennis Rodman breaking down like a triangle pattern. And I was thinking, I remember my coach in like, sixth, seventh, eighth grade would always have these plays, but I didn't understand it at all. It was like doing homework at like recess, I'm like, what? I would always be like, well, why do we have to do that? Can't we just play? Like why do we have to do this whole formula? Like, we're just having fun out here, guys. I remember being like questioning the coach. But
you got picked first a lot, right, Casey?
I was like right in the middle. I think like I think I was always in my head. I think I thought I was like sixth man of the basketball team, which is, Joe, it's when okay. So there's the 5 starters. The sixth man is the person who's like the first off the bench called to replace him.
I was usually like close to last picked, but not quite last picked. I think that I'm not sure why. I should have been last picked.
Mm-hmm.
I think people just liked my like attitude, maybe. I don't know. I hope.
I would only really like for a basketball game, I would play if there's like 3 scenarios. If we're like really kicking butt, like if we're like really ahead, they'd be like, let's throw Casey in. It'll be fun. Or if like a bunch of people get hurt, like, and they're like, okay, we have to put Casey in. They have to rest up. Otherwise they can't play later. So let's take them off. Casey, you're in for a little while. Or 3, if we're losing real bad. And these are sometimes the best games to play. Because we played this team that was like from Queens, and the kids were like so good. They were like doing stuff where they were like throwing the basketball under their legs to bounce past it, and then the other guy would basically like, dunk it or something. And I played that like whole game and had a really good time. We lost so bad, but I was like taking any shot I wanted to. I think I like hit a 3 accidentally. It was the greatest game of my life. We lost like 90-10. It was great.
I liked gym class, but I didn't. They got very lazy about it. They would always just play basketball, and I wanted to play dodgeball or like, I feel like there were some other weird games that weren't like. There was European dodgeball too, which was like.
Oh yeah, what's that?
I think that's the one where they set up these big barriers made out of those like gym mats, and you actually had like strategy, and you could like take cover and stuff. It was really cool.
Yes, I remember that. That
stuff was awesome. But then we just played basketball every time, and I found it to be so boring. I don't know. Not a big basketball guy.
That does make sense for your personality. Like basically it was like playing a video game.
It was, yeah. And I got to roll around the floor and like, dodge things around and try and run out of cover. There was cover fire. You throw a ball and someone else would run. It was great.
You should have joined the Army, Joe.
Yeah, I probably should have.
Look at that hat on you right now. Like, you look like you're
this is
camouflage.
Military attire, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this is basically what the military wears, right?
Jody, can I ask you something?
Yeah, please.
Speaking of school, one of the things that we've noted about your practice is that you do school tribunals.
Right.
So have you ever like anything interesting there? Like, what is that like? Is it like a miniature court in a school?
Yeah, and that's exactly right. It's the administrative process, so it's not criminal at all, but it's very similar. You're entitled to due process if you're about to be expelled or suspended from a school. And basically the process goes through your school board. Quite honestly, a lot of people don't wind up hiring attorneys for those processes, but most people have a lot of questions about it. So a lot of people simply call us and get a little bit of guidance, and we'll kind of point them in the right path. Because a lot of times if you have that coming up, you're probably going to be dealing with a delinquency case, which is a criminal juvenile case. So it's going to go hand in hand. You're probably not really worried about being expelled if you're dealing with some pretty serious charges, but you want to be there to make sure nothing is said. So when you go handle that criminal case in the juvenile court, you're not kind of blocking yourself or messing something up in the process. So a lot of times they're going to go hand in hand.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
is that something you wish you could do though? Do you want to like throw down the gauntlet at a school?
I mean, sometimes yes. I mean, I grew up with zero tolerance back in, I guess, the 2000s. So I don't know if it was the same way there. But, I mean, there's so many cases where it just can't apply. I mean, and every case is different. The facts are different. But sometimes you get kind of irritated and infuriated. But
my life would be way different if there was a zero tolerance policy. It would have sucked. I made some mistakes. And, like,
he allegedly made counterfeit money in high school.
Yeah, allegedly.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I hear you guys or one of your friends tell a story, I'm always saying allegedly, and I'm hoping you'll go back and pop that in there.
Yeah, we're not. We should probably be doing that, huh?
Just dropping it. Yeah, everything on this podcast is it's fictitious. This is like a
totally
scripted.
Yeah, coincidence if it's based in real life.
Jody, I don't know how old you are. You could be literally, the way you look, you could be like 20 years old, but like with all your experience and professionalism, you seem like you could be like 45.
That's right. It's the cheeks, the baby face.
Yeah.
I'm actually 34 though.
You're right with us.
That's right. Yeah.
We are peers.
Almost a decade now.
You've done so much more with your life.
Are you born 85?
Yeah.
We're simpatico. Is that the thing?
Yeah.
That's us. Wow, Jode. We're the same age. Oh man, you're in your office with your merchandise with your name all over it, and here I am. I'm wearing a shirt I took from my grandma that says Lavalette Yacht Club, which is like a crappy yacht club in Lavalette, New Jersey.
Hey, you've been in a movie though, so you taught me there.
Oh, in a movie?
Yeah.
That's right. I got a message last night from Roy, Roy Wood Jr. He's a comedian. He messaged me, what did Paula Abdul smell like? Was it money? And I was like, no. And he was like, oh, so was it vodka? And I was like, actually, I think she's sober. So
wow, that's fun.
It was a weird. It was like at 12:30, a.m.
All we have left is to ponder things now. So it makes sense that he would text you that.
Yeah.
I went to bed at 10 o'clock last night. I don't usually do that.
Is that early or late for you, Joe?
That's early. Yeah,
that's pretty early for you.
Yeah, I'm usually at 2 a.m. guy.
I last week on the podcast, if you're up to date, I talked about how I've been like drinking a lot in the quarantine, like basically every day, either like splitting a bottle of wine with Lisa or making like 2 cocktails, maybe like 2.5. A half is like when I just, like, let's say instead of making like a full cocktail, like a Negroni, I'll just make I'll put like some tequila and soda together or Campari and soda. So I consider that a half cocktail. But look, we quit on Friday. Like we were taking a break. And the last 2 days I've woken up like hungover. I don't know what's going on. I'm not drinking, but I'm waking up like more groggy than when I was. I don't know what's up. Maybe I'm like really getting into REM sleep, but a little later, and then I'm waking up and like, funky.
What makes you wake up? An alarm, natural, like you just arise when you arise?
Well, we have construction that's been going on next door to us.
That's cool. That's
really
awesome.
It's really loud. It's like today was crazy because it was like screeching and banging, because usually it's one or the other. It's like this screeching sound or it's just banging, and it was both. It was double dipping today. But in general, I kind of get up when Lisa gets up, and I think she sets alarms, although I can't remember hearing them.
Yeah, I just wake up with the sun usually around 9:30. Not with the sun. I know that's not when it rises, but that's an insane sentence maybe, but that's when it goes through my window, and that's what wakes me up, and it's kind of nice. Yeah. So what was weird was I went to bed at 10 o'clock, but I still woke up at 9. So I got a lot of sleep last night. That's
good. Maybe you listen to your body. You need it.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Have you been working out, Joe?
No, not really. There's not a whole lot in here for me to utilize.
Huh. So what, have you been thinking about exercise or no?
Yeah, I'd like to. I've been missing a gym. That's where I thrive, I think. But not that I'm not a gym guy, and I don't look like I have a gym body, but I like the gym,
We used to call you Jim Bergio for a while.
That's right, yeah.
Because if you take the OE out of Joe Imbergio, it's J Imbergio, Jim Bergio.
Yeah.
No one calls you that anymore.
Jim Berge. Someone did the other day. I forget who.
Really?
Yeah, that was my college email address, because they provide one by the school. This is my college graduation mug. It's backwards, but it's the class of 2008 School of Management, Binghamton University, because I'm a business major. And I didn't like it at first. I was like, this is stupid. And now I find it like kind of fun and ironic, and I've been embracing it. Because
your business major?
My business degree. Yeah, this is like basically what I feel like is the culmination of what I got out of going to college, is this mug.
if the like the more embarrassing thing now is if you did try to get a job with business, they'd be like, wait, you graduated in 2008 and you haven't done anything with your major. That's the funniest part now is like if you've done nothing relatively.
I guess so, yeah, but like it's all about who you know and how you sell yourself, I think. And I think that I'd be fine, honestly.
I know it would just be it'd be shocking. I guess you'd be like, well, I got to write for a television program, and then you'd
Yeah.
be like, oh, well, that makes sense. But
If I really
yeah.
had to like go into something just to, make money and like not care about that sort of thing, I think I could get into advertising or something, like copywriting.
How many years of school did you go to, Jody?
I went to undergrad for 4 years, and then law school is 3, so 7.
Wow. Passed the bar?
I did. Yeah, I did pass the bar. Yeah.
Wow.
First try?
First try. Yes,
Whoa!
Ah.
I actually don't know if that's common or not common, but I
No, a lot of people do fail, so it happens a lot. So
What is it like? It's like word problems, right? And like little essays. You have to like write how you would handle this situation.
yeah, 2 parts. There's multiple choice, which is kind of analytical thinking and just reasoning. That's one day, and then your second day is writing. So you're given some situations where you have to issue spot, explain to the court how you might handle a situation. Some rules of ethics are in there as well. So, and that's day 2, and it's all essay. And I actually did it all by hand, so it's probably one of the worst experiences of my life.
Wow.
Handwriting essays for hours on end.
What's your least favorite topic? Is it torts?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
No one likes
Tort,
the
what's
tort.
that?
It's funny there, but it's boring to me.
Wait,
Torts
what
are
is
boring,
that?
dude.
What is a tort? How do you guys know what a tort is, but I don't?
I took some legal classes in college because of
There
the
you go.
business shit.
You sick fuck. You hide this from me?
Totally.
I don't even.
I mean, family law and criminal defense, those are the most emotional parts of the law you can get into. So the scenarios are so intense, and
I'm
I don't
sure.
know.
Could you give us, the two of us, a scenario that we have to talk? Like we'll have to do our best to like what we would write in the bar. It doesn't have to be like a personal family one, but something that like what might have been on the exam, and then we'll give our best legal stuff.
Okay.
I'm already killing it.
Well, we have to get assigned a defense and prosecution, right? And then,
Do we even need to?
or are we on the same side?
It's up to you guys, do you want like a criminal defense scenario, and one of you are trying to put them in jail? The other one's trying
Well, I like the idea. So like when you're doing the bar exam, you get a scenario and you kind of like you would write like how you would approach the case and like what angle you would take.
Exactly. So
That's what I want to do.
Along the lines of someone buys a business and they talk to the landlord, and they create a lease agreement, and you have to pick out all the issues with that agreement. Is it proper under the law? What are some of the laws you may apply? I don't know, something along those lines. It's nothing like what you're actually doing when you become a lawyer.
Gotcha.
So it can be kind of frustrating a little bit.
Right.
All right. So already I have some ideas. One, the business is haunted. So there should be it should be cheaper. I would talk to the landlord and be like, I want the property to lower its lease because there's a ghost. And because they are going to have trouble, they have to prove that there's no ghost. I don't have to prove, right? It's the court system. I don't have to prove there's a ghost. I said there's a ghost. You have to believe women, and there's a ghost. Also in the scenario, I'm a woman.
This is sound, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm. Joe?
I'm not sure what we're discussing.
Yeah.
I
But
guess you're the landlord with the ghost.
I'm the landlord. That ghost is part of the property. You know what I mean? In my opinion, it's a bonus. You can do a lot with that ghost, and I think that the lease stands as it stands.
Wow. I'm beat.
I think so. Joe won.
There we go.
Damn.
It's only because I went second.
Hey, you're red, Casey. That's it.
He just pulled out that business major.
Yeah, that's right. I threw a tort your way.
I
I forget what a tort is, but I remember hating them.
It all comes out.
What's a tort?
It can be any type of civil action, anything from like a car wreck to a negligence case, battery, assault.
Torts.
But it's a civil action where you're suing for like monetary damages.
So battery was something that I always was like
You
taking.
mean like assault and battery?
Yeah.
What is the battery?
Well, I know that like it's worse than assault because it's like you've battered someone, you know?
Can you battery someone without assaulting them, or
batter someone? I think, right?
Yeah, the difference is like the physical touching part. So the battery is you actually making contact.
Wow.
So you pull a gun on someone and you point it at them. That's assault with a deadly weapon.
But if you hit them with the gun, batter.
That's battery with an object, an instrument. Correct.
If you use some kind of device that shoots sound waves in a concussive blast, would that be battery?
Oh, good question.
Yeah,
you're not touching them. Yeah.
Yeah. If there's physical touching, if the glass actually winds up maybe shattering and hitting their skin or something, and if they see you actually use this sound wave gun, that'd be assault before you even get touched.
Right. Wow.
That's the apprehension of your safety. So you see it, you're scared for your life.
But people don't kill people. Guns kill people.
And sound waves don't kill people.
Probably true. I don't know.
I don't know. They might.
It'd be funny if Joe shot me and I tried to sue the bullet.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Sue the bullet or the manufacturer of the bullets?
Oh, that's what I do. See, he's already thinking next steps. My major was fine arts, if you couldn't tell, which meant, but I went to this school that didn't have like a very good fine arts program. Like I was talking to Lisa the other day. She has she's like has a BFA, MFA. Which one does she have? Joe?
I don't know. Is MFA masters?
No, she doesn't have that. She has a BFA, but like at BU, which has a
FA.
like a good theater program, or like what's the word for it? Like a theater school. I don't know.
Performing arts?
Yeah. But it's like better than what Ryder had. Ryder was just like had the program. But so since it was fine arts and like you had to pick a concentration, you couldn't be like, I'm an acting major, I'm a dance major. You have to be like, I'm a fine arts major and my concentration is acting or dance, which means you're forced to take classes in all of the other things. So my concentration was music, but I had to take acting classes. I had to take painting classes and I had like art classes, and I had to take dance classes, which were so fun because you have to go to Princeton where they had a dance studio and you're there with like all the dance concentration women. And it was like the best. It was so much fun. And you'd like dance with them. And it was weird though. It was like nerve wracking to like go into a class, but there's also like always like one other guy there that also is like an art major or, another acting, concentration person. And it was like, so like you could give the look to them, like, but it was, and that would be also like the dance, like, women would be in the music classes, or, it would always be like, you'd see a person who's like, oh, that person's not usually in my classes. That's so funny. We had a class, I think I've told this before. We had a Beatles class, like a Beatles, like history of the Beatles, which was very popular. It would fill up fast. But since I was like a concentration in music, I'd get into that class. But there would also be like, I think like it was like a night class. So there'd be like people who were like going back to school that were like, I need a class. I'll take a Beatles one. And you'd see these women or men that are like in their 40s that are going back to school that are taking a class, like want to take the Beatles class because they like love the Beatles. But the teacher would spend so much time like shitting on the Beatles and coming up with these like theories. Like he had a theory that John Lennon was gay. And then I could tell like these like 40-year-old men were like, no, man, like these are the Beatles, bro. Like you can't be saying this. And
it's funny because like I picture like classic rock dudes, but it's funny to like, there's like classic rock like Lynyrd Skynyrd, then classic rock like the Beatles, and it's funny to be like a 40-year-old Beatles defender, like upset about John Lennon being gay.
Yeah, he was there.
It doesn't feel like a masculine like band in a way.
Yeah, but that era, I think, like they all gets lumped together. It's like the Q104 bro, which is a radio station in New York that plays classic rock, and it's like they just didn't like that they kept suggesting. He kept coming up. He was this British guy too, and he like we have a joke that he'd be like, "Do you hear that? Do you hear how gay it is?" He would always break down lyrics and say that. He talked several times about how like John Lennon would like to have sex with like the other Beatles and the moms. There were these like moms in the class that were just like they were. I like looked over and they were just like writing notes and they would just like stop. They wouldn't write that down and then move on. Oh, so
Because
funny.
it is kind of bullshit. It's a weird. Like, what does it mean? What does it mean whether they were gay or not? It's just he's just postulating. Like,
I know.
you know, it's not. You're not learning anything about the Beatles. He's just saying, imagine they were gay.
So he wrote like a big dissertation about this and like got published and like you know has a whole maybe a book or something. But he also has one on this guy. Is it Benjamin Britten? Does that make sense?
Benjamin Button?
No, that's the movie. There's a composer named Britten, I think. Briton, and he wrote a whole dissertation on how he was a pedophile. Like he's obsessed
based on his compositions.
Based on like stories about him or like autobiographies or just like reports from people. So like he's obsessed with like finding these like sexual, like closeted sexual things with like musicians. I haven't talked to him since, but I wonder like if he keeps finding weird stuff. He was obsessed with talking about that stuff. Like
and he's like obsessed with like Boy George was straight. He's like,
yeah,
going the other way too.
Right, that would be great. He's like, you hear Boy George? Actually straight. You hear how straight that is?
Do you have any pets, Jody?
I don't. We actually used to have a Chinese Shar-Pei that my wife had when we were in law school and lived with us for several years. But once we moved into our house outside of Atlanta, it was hard to keep him. So he actually lives with my in-laws up in Tennessee right now. So,
Oh wow. Oh.
Yeah.
How old?
I asked because how old are your in-laws?
Oh, man.
How old is the
That
Shar-Pei?
was what your question was, right?
Not Jeb. That's the Chinese Shar-Pei, like Jeb Bush. He's 12, so he's on up there.
Did you like Please Clap? Did you like when Jeb Bush said that? That was my favorite.
He's always good for some comedy lines.
I asked because my cat's just driving me a little nuts right now. He's been walking all over the countertop, knocking things off, drinking like I had yogurt this morning. He was drinking out of the bowl that like there was water in. So I had it like resting in the sink. I hear him going through the cabinet right now because there's rat poison in the cabinet. And like
He loves that.
He just seems to love it. Yeah. We bought flowers, like a bouquet of flowers yesterday. And like, of course, like 70% of what's in the bouquet is like toxic to cats. And he just wants to eat the whole thing. So they're not even like, I have to like have the flowers in another room that he can't get into. It's almost like we bought them for no reason, you know?
Did you buy them for Allie?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. It was cool. It was nice of me. She kind of guilted me. She was like, I want flowers. I was like, all right, I'll get you flowers. And then she picked the most expensive one there and the one that had the most toxic things for cats. So
that's what women do, guys.
That's how they get you.
They always pick the one that's toxic for cats.
I would have done it anyway, but like she said it before I could do it. So like it takes away any good gesture.
What do you mean you would have done it? Why didn't you do it?
Because we were passing by the place anyway.
Right, but
and then she's like, I want flowers. And I didn't even have a chance to like get the flowers before she preempted me.
Well, you had a chance leading up to it.
You gotta work on that, Joe.
I guess you're right. Yeah. I have had weeks earlier than this. Yeah.
Yeah, don't blame her.
I want to blame her.
I'm mad at her. Lisa also, I'm in the same boat because Lisa also just bought herself flowers for her birthday and then got some more flowers the other day.
Yeah.
So my same excuse, she didn't let me do it.
Yeah. Yeah, these women, well, you want to let them have a little agency too, get their own flowers, and now you're still the asshole. There's no winning.
Yeah, I know. You're holding the door for them.
Yeah.
But that's not good.
No, it's not good anymore. Hey, Jody, what about My Cousin Vinny? You guys still watch that in law school?
Oh, yeah, man. I love that movie. It's fantastic.
What else?
What's
what
the most
Trial and
accurate?
Error with Michael Richards?
What do you think? What's a movie that's very accurate to like the legal system and then like a complete farce, or just like wrong?
Man, that's a great question. Just Mercy with Michael B. Jordan that just came out, but that's a phenomenal movie, and that's probably fairly close and accurate. Now it deals with capital punishment cases, so it's a little more intense.
Mm.
It's not like the daily superior courts or your local kind of hometown county court that goes on with divorces and contract issues and things like that. But it's pretty amazing. And then My Cousin Vinny is probably the best example of all the stereotypes just thrown in together.
Including Italian ones.
Yeah. And one of my favorite parts, the public defender, who was just awful, is so terrible for public defenders because they're great attorneys.
Yeah,
but,
right.
I mean, it's so hard to do what they do, but it still makes me laugh out loud when I see that.
Is that the stuttering guy?
That's
Yeah.
him, yeah.
That's a really great role. When I rewatched that, I was like everybody is so good in it. The judge is amazing, who's like Herman Munster. And then the Marissa Tomei won.
She won an Oscar, yeah.
That's incredible. Pesci's at his best. Doesn't make any sense that they'd be together, but it's the 90s.
Well, he's just such a confident guy that it makes sense,
Sure. Yeah.
What's her name? Mona Lisa Vita? No, he's is he Vito? She's Vito.
I think she's Vito.
Yeah, and he's Gallo.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well, I think Gallo might have been the name that he gave.
The fake name, right?
Fake name.
Vincent Gallo. I said Callo.
Yeah, he kept changing it.
What about Better Call Saul? Do you watch any of that?
I love that show.
It's great, right?
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic.
Casey won't watch Breaking Bad, though.
That's accurate because we're not shady like
What Saul Goodman is, yeah.
Yeah.
What about Marriage Story? Did you cry?
Which one?
Marriage Story?
Is that on the new season?
No, that's that movie that came out by Noah Baumbach with Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. It's a divorce movie. It's good. It's sad.
It was really hard to watch because of like my relationship with Adam Driver.
Right. Yeah.
I have enough divorces. I don't need to see a divorce movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Oh, I bet you that'd
be rough stuff.
I watched a video about an astronaut breaking down like the best and worst movies about space.
Divorce movies.
Yeah. And Marriage Story was number one. No, he was talking about how like the Gravity was like insane, like insanely wrong. He was like, it's great. He's like, it's a great movie, but like there's a bunch of problems with it. The first biggest problem is that Sandra Bullock's character is like terrified, and like they make it like it's the first woman ever, and like the woman, like the human being that's been in space the longest is a woman. So he's like, it definitely is going to push back the fact like the pushback, like women, like young girls growing up watching that are going to not want to go into the space program because of this movie, and it's going to like push back. Like he's like, that's going to be a bummer. But he was also saying how just the physics of it all is daffy, like it's just crazy.
Yeah, none of it makes sense.
Yeah, but he says Apollo 13 is like very good. It's like a really accurate thing of like that, and in fact, like it's one of those things where it has influenced space. Like, Houston, we have a problem was definitely like a thing, like a term that was real, but it's since that movie, it's like now if someone says like Houston, we have a problem, everyone like kind of drops everything and like really focuses, and it's like used seldom, but like when there's time to be like, everyone, can you shut up and listen?
I mean in real life?
In real life, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't like that before. It like became like, I mean, you would say that before, but now it's like, that means like quiet down. It was really cool.
Jody, which space movie has influenced your law practice the most?
Armageddon.
Mm-hmm. That's a tearjerker, man.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it, man. Bruce Willis.
We actually have to take a break in a second, right?
Yeah, but I think legally, like, it would be crazy to send people who've never done any space training into space.
It doesn't make sense.
They definitely need a lawyer.
Ben Affleck on the commentary for it, like, it's just ripping the movie apart, talking about how, like, why would they send oil riggers to space? It doesn't make sense.
Yep.
They should send Jody. If there's ever like aliens, we should send Jody because you'll probably need someone, to work out some legal ramifications.
Probably a contract. That way we survive.
Yeah. Well, Jody, we were about wrapping up because we're about to get kicked off, but
Okay.
we could let you go if you need to go about your biz.
Yeah, I probably do. I've got a conference call coming up in the next 15 minutes, so this is probably a good stopping point.
Did you want to do like an advertisement for yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, I did want to say though, we're always talking about if you're ever in Griffin, Georgia, give us a call. Which yes, please. But we draft documents that people can use all across the country. So everybody needs a will. I know that no one likes talking about that, but we can do that for everybody. So everybody listens to the pod. We can help you out. You're probably going to spend a couple $100 if you buy these pre-made packets. We'll do it even cheaper.
So we lost connection with Jody because the Zoom only has like a 40-minute limit because we're cheap and we don't want to take Jody's money and put it towards a full Zoom account. And we lost connection, but we got him back. We got him back.
I'm back.
Yeah. Well, so we got kicked off there, which is the funniest thing to happen. Like finally, like we have you on doing a little ad for yourself. Then you
cut off right in the middle.
Yeah. So please, yeah. You said this in email too. So that's $100 for a simple will. Simple just meaning we don't set up trust funds, and to let Jody and whoever you talk to know that you're a podcast listener.
That's it. 770-415-9848. Hey, follow us on Facebook, Twitter. Okay. 770-415-9848.
Yeah.
That's 770-415-9848.
That is that. Yeah. So yeah, Jody, you just got back, but Jody just finished up telling us everyone's sorry we kicked him off, or that wasn't us.
Yeah, blame Zoom.
Blame Zoom. I'll send them a letter.
But thank you so much for being here, Jody.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I loved it, and we'll have to do it again because even though Georgia technically is opening up, which that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Places are still kind of shut down, thankfully, and being responsible. And we're going to stay virtual probably for another 3 or 4 weeks at a minimum. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks so much for being here, buddy.
Hey, thanks, guys. Take care.
Love you, Jody. Take care.
Hey, love y'all too. Bye.
What a sweet, sweet man. And there were two.
Yeah. I feel like we learned something. I'm not sure what. Now we know what a tort is.
I was nervous.
Yeah. But those nerves were unfounded. He was great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
How you doing? What's going on?
Chilling. Nothing much. Just making stuff and making food.
Yeah, I guess the same. Same here.
You got an air fryer, right?
Yeah.
You have so much tech. You know how you're always saying that I'm like a tech guy? You have so much kitchen tech.
I guess I don't have that much kitchen tech.
You got a sous vide?
I got 3 kitchen techs, yeah.
What do you got? What are your big ones? Sous vide, air fryer?
Instant pot, air fryer, sous vide, yeah.
What's an instant pot? Is that like a
it's like a pressure cooker.
Pressure cooker, yes.
Yeah.
Those are pretty, that's tech. That's 3 big, those are the big 3.
Yeah, we made a risotto last night, or Allie did. She's been cooking up a storm.
You pride yourself on your risotto. You let her do the risotto?
She insisted. She insisted on doing it. And it was great. It came out so good.
I watch a lot of YouTube videos about steak and cooking steak. I don't know why. That's like my new thing. And I watched this guy cook steak in an air fryer.
Yeah, it seems like it would get very smoky, but it's essentially like a broiler, right?
Yeah, I mean, it looked great.
Yeah, I would just use my broiler, I think.
On the oven?
Yeah.
I've done that before. It's good. The air fryer, though, like, it makes the outside like kind of crispier, but not a really great crust. It's not that really high heat crust, but like parts of it look really kind of crispy. I've been making a bunch of steaks lately.
Yeah, like we're defrosting some right now to have tonight.
Once a week, I've been doing like a decked out steak. I'm going to take like a week and a half off now just because I want to a lot of red meat, But otherwise I don't eat a ton of meat because Lisa doesn't eat it. And then so like steak's like my once a week thing where like I make her like a
What does she eat on steak nights? Yeah.
like a decked out mushroom, or like I bought her scallops the other day, and so I didn't have any. I got her like 4 scallops, and I had the steak.
Have you guys been allegedly smoking weed?
No,
Yeah.
I don't. It's been too. I don't know. Like when I have allegedly, I've gotten like a little alleged anxiety.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that happening to me too. I don't want to like think about what's going on in the wrong headspace, you know?
Yeah, because in the past I would sometimes allegedly do it and then take a walk like outside, and it would be like really relaxing and fun. And now that would almost stress me out even more.
I am jealous of your balcony. Me and Allie were talking about it the other day how nice it is that you have that. And we used to have one, and we kind of never. This would be the perfect time to be using it, but
Yeah. The problem with this balcony is it has to be the right conditions. If
yeah, it can get a little windy, right?
gets very windy, but it's like if it's not windy, the weather needs to still be like pretty warm. You know, we've gone
Would
out
you
like
consider getting a one of those wind chimes?
no, I would never consider that.
I guess it'd be too windy, right?
Yeah, it would be great. Everyone would be so mad. Like that's okay with like a house if you're the only one hearing it,
Yeah.
but it would. There are so many neighbors.
I like the idea of a wind chime, but I'd like one that you could like turn on and off at the flick of a switch.
I don't like it at all.
Not at all?
I mean, what you find it relaxing?
Yeah, if you pick the right tones, it could be a nice ambiance. But we were at a friend's house not too long ago, doing like a backyard like social distancing thing, and they had these wind chimes that were just going nuts, and they were like out of tune with each other, and we were all of us were annoyed, and we had to like take it down. But
Yeah.
like I've also heard really nice ones that are pleasant, that aren't too jangly, you know. And I think it really can it can bring a sense of zen to an outdoor area if it's the right kind, you know.
Yeah, you may have sold me on wind chimes. I remember my grandma had one next door, and it was a good one. And I'm like picturing that in my head.
Yeah,
Like
but you don't want it to be going nonstop and like causing a ruckus. You know, that's why I think I don't know if it exists, but something you could flick on and off somehow, or like wrap up when you're not needing it.
I mean, you could just put it out and then pull it back in. The only
I
issue
guess.
is I really don't think it works for like an apartment because like for a house is great because you put it by like let's say the front door. And I remember like I'm picturing my grandma's house, front door. So if you're in the living room, just like sitting or in the kitchen, you could hear it, but any other part of the house, you can't hear
Right.
it.
That's funny. It's funny. I didn't, you know, if I draped one out of my like fire escape, people would be throwing rocks at my window. Like everyone
Yeah.
would hate it.
I know, especially if it like, but the other benefit where you is like you're on the second floor and your address is no, but you leave it there. Like if you
Third
put
floor.
it, if you put it there, then it would be like, you know, it's not super high. Like the problem is like we're pretty high. And then there's also like the way my building is, it makes this wind tunnel sometimes, like, especially like my balcony has like these 2 pillars. And so wind comes right through and it's like a tunnel.
And actually, you're kind of blessed these days with like nature's wind chime. Those construction workers outside.
That's
that you
true.
were talking. So in a way, you're all set.
There's some tones. All right.
Hey Google, play wind chimes.
Let's see what happens. You're not supposed to say that, though. I can't hear it.
It's a song called Wind Chimes. Okay, Google, stop it.
You're supposed to not say that over things like this because now, like, if someone's listening to this on speaker, like, and they have it, their whole thing just went off.
I know you're supposed to not, but I think with the context of our show,
Yeah,
a little light ribbing for me saying, "Hey Google," is
That's
not the
true.
worst thing.
that's true. Hey, Google, delete contacts.
I don't think it does that.
I know. I always wanted
Google. Delete all of my contacts.
to.
Let's see. Working.
I can't
Couldn't
find
find
anything.
Yeah.
It's always like, I couldn't find anything.
Yeah. Likely story, Google.
Or we just, oh, so yeah, wind chime. Yeah. I don't know. Have you done anything else? Have you purchased anything?
Sure. I bought some clothes. I bought this new. There's a bunch of stuff on sale on Abercrombie and Fitch. So I bought some
Whoa.
of that stuff. Yeah.
Is it because I told you to buy those camp collar tees? I mean, button downs, and then
I think
now
you turned me back on to like, oh, they're not all about that moose logo and everything. So I can like enjoy some of their basics.
But are you getting emails because of that?
I'm sure I do, but everything goes into a promotions tab, and I don't really check it too often. But I happen to be like browsing, and I was like, I could maybe use it. I had a pair of pants that was like tearing a little in the crotch, so I was like, maybe it's time to get new pants. But you would like this shirt because it's kind of a belly shirt when I like raise my hands up, like
like old school,
old Joe.
That looks good. It looks like a nice material, like comfy.
Very, very comfortable. Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of sweatpants these days, obviously, and I was thinking, it might be getting warm. I also haven't used like heat or electricity. Electricity, heat or air conditioning. This entire quarantine, we haven't even touched it's just the temperature's been good. And if it's been a little cold, we just have blankets at night. And if it's been a little warm, we open up a window. It's been really nice.
There was this debate about whether or not who's handy and what handiness is. And I think you're a little handy too. I think you and I have like some handy traits.
Yeah, but like I said, my thing that I said was that I think like an actual handy person, like we're lowering the bar if we're saying we're handy.
I just think that we're on our way we're still young yet. All those handy people you're referring to have had years to build tables and stuff. You're taking apart air conditioners and like seeing how they work. Things like that I think are traits of handiness.
Maybe. I think about
don't sell yourself short, dude. I think you got it. I think you got what it takes.
I'm not selling myself short. I think I'm pretty comfortable in my handiness. No, that's not true. Like my dad is like, he grew up in an era where like at a young age he's like fixing boats and like painting little like boats, and he knows how to sail a boat.
So he's a boat swain. Okay, fine.
He's a boatsman, a boat swain.
I think that's the word. Yeah.
That's amazing. But like he also like he knows how to like garden. He knows how to fix electronics. He knows how to clean electronics. He knows he knows the land. He knows the tech. He knows internet stuff. Like he's just like this he's a Renaissance man.
Yeah, I just feel like for you and I, if we ever were faced with some kind of problem like that where we needed to paint a boat, I think we'd figure out how to do it in the best way.
I bought
maybe painting's the wrong thing. I bought some too, actually. I have. What brand are those?
I just got them at ProGo. This is a sponsored podcast by ProGo. Soft and comfy, made in China.
I bought similar ones from Abercrombie and Fitch.
Can you see the logo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soft and comfy.
Yeah, they were pretty cheap, and they seem cheap. But I just wanted to try them. I was going to get more, but I don't. So this is the first purchase I've like made since like the quarantine. Like I haven't had anything shipped. We haven't done any deliveries. We've just like, part of it is just like we want to let people who actually need supplies like get them and not like clog up the works. But I was getting a bunch of stuff for Lisa's birthday, and I was like, well, let me throw some sweatpants shorts on there. Never hurt no one.
Yeah. If you're already getting stuff, are you what do you want to do for your birthday? Should we come over?
June. What do you think's going to be happening in June?
I don't know.
I'm assuming that there'll be some sort of lifting of this.
Don't you feel like it's sort of like what are we doing here? I don't know. I don't understand what the deal is.
I think a lot of people now are getting a little stir crazy, and they're becoming like, what was all this for?
Which I'm not saying that, but I'm not clear on what's going on here because I don't understand. I just don't understand what's going on.
People need to know that like we're going to be like suffering now in a different way, but the intent is to save lives.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are now like, like we saved these people's lives and now we have to suffer. And it's like, well,
that's selfish. No, it's true that you don't want to like go halfway and have to do this all over again. But I'm also just not clear on what's going on. I don't know.
I know. I agree. I mean, in New York, at least it seems like the cases are dropping slightly. So
yeah, some of it just feels weird, like going to the park, like where you're nowhere near anybody. It's like, should I not be in the park? But we're also not near each other, and it's like there's sunlight, and it's not really going to spread that way. But like everyone's wearing masks, and you feel like an asshole if you don't wear a mask. But you're almost like, but why? I'm not near anyone. It's all still so unclear,
Yeah, I know. I think you just have to use your own discretion, and it's like, I don't like seeing the shaming. Not that I see it a lot, but like I know, I'm on all these different threads of like friends, and it's all over the place. So you got like my like a bunch of like improviser thread, like the good, like my old team Good Girl, and they're more on the side of, can you believe I saw this person without a mask, and they're like, I can't believe this, right? And I get it. And then I also have like that kind of, the Conco friend group, the
Yeah.
Conco group, and that's a bunch of people, Staten Island guys from high school, and they're like, some of them, not everyone, but it's like, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, all that. And then you have our group, which is like me, you, Pat, and Vert. We don't talk about it at all.
That's true.
we're like, I mean, it's
business
like
as usual. Yeah.
nothing has changed at all.
Yeah.
So it's really funny to see all of it, and I kind of feel like I get, okay, interesting. That's okay, cool. I'm taking it all in. So I'm kind of in this thing of, you just kind of have to live your own life and not get too caught up.
We didn't talk about UCB at all. How do you feel about that?
I feel good.
So closed down. Officially they're not going to reopen. It sounds like the theaters and training center in New York.
I've realized a lot of people don't, like, especially like, probably people who listen to this don't know what UCB is at all. So Upright Citizens Brigade is an improv theater that I've been like doing shows at for 13 years. Since I started taking classes there in 2007 or 8. And I've been doing improv shows since then, which is so long now when you think about it. And that's how I met my wife. It's how I met some of my like longest friends. Our good friend James McCarthy, I met at UCB, and he's like, now we're all thick as thieves. And it's just been like a wonderful institution that I've spent so much time, and I've loved it. I have no like real qualms about it, but there's also this like side of it that I think people like got very invested and like didn't like how the business was run, and have been like kind of tearing it down for that. And I get it that they would do that. It's just, that's not my thing. I don't know enough either way, but it's interesting to see so many people. Part of me was like, as I've done that, I've done the shows and I've always moved on to other things. And I go back to do shows all the time. I love doing the show there, but I move on. It's not like my main life. And I think people can't move on either way. Yeah. Some people are like, I love it. I ride or die for it. I will fight for UCB. And other people are like, fuck this place. It sucks. Like they didn't pay performers to perform all this stuff. So it's like, I get both. Again, I get both sides, but right down the middle, baby.
Yeah. That's good. But I guess I feel similarly. I'm glad I had some fun times there, but by the time I got involved, it just felt like it was like a ship that was too large for me to jump onto. I didn't really have the drive to like start to spend all of my time there. I felt like I already kind of knew some cool people from there, and it seems like a shame, but I didn't love the new theater in Hell's Kitchen anyway.
Yeah,
and I got to perform there with you, which is cool. So that's great. I got what I needed out of UCB.
Yeah, and I think that's a healthy way of feeling about it. I think I thought it was such a good thing for me. Like it changed my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And I've continued. Like I had a show there every Saturday night for years now, and now I don't.
That's what I was going to ask. Like what you haven't for a while because of this whole thing,
right?
But could you still put that team together and perform at like Subterranean or something?
Subculture, yeah. I think that I might. Well, Subculture might be doing more UCB shows when this all finishes. They're going to probably talk to Subculture and see, but which is a venue, and I want to keep doing improv in some capacity. Lisa and I just watched that Middleditch and Schwartz.
I watched the first episode. It was very funny.
Oh my God, it's so funny. I only watched the first one too.
And it's funny that they break some rules that that like they just talk about the scene in the middle of it. You know?
They're just having fun. And that's like, that's exactly how I like to play as well. So it was like fun watching that. Cause I was like, but I've been really missing it doing improv. Like it's my favorite thing.
Can I ask you something?
Oh,
this is a little inside.
Anything.
You'll notice that I have a guitar behind me.
Yeah, I know. I noticed.
The infamous guitar from your brother's place in SNL?
Yes.
The past couple of, I don't know if it was, I didn't see the most recent episode, but like he had one like laying on the couch.
Yeah.
Behind him, and like people couldn't help but comment on this like guitar in the background.
I know. So funny.
What's the deal?
Scarlett's daughter's taking lessons.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
But
not
like,
even his guitar.
he doesn't want to put that kind of business out
Of
there.
course, yeah.
And it's like, it's so funny.
It is
People are
funny.
such herbs.
I know.
You got to realize, like, you have to realize that the majority of the planet is herbs, you know?
Yeah.
And like, so like literally all, anybody who's like obsessed with the fact that there's a guitar in the back of a thing is a friggin' herb.
Yeah.
And also like Scarlett plays a little bit, you know what I mean? Like she's released albums.
Right, that's true.
It's crazy. So
So even behind something as innocuous as a guitar on a couch, there's like an innocent story there. It wasn't intentional, and the whole world had to have an opinion on a guitar on a couch.
but not the whole world, because
Yeah,
like,
I know. But like,
that's because that's the other thing. It always seems like it's the whole world when
It
it's
does,
more
yeah.
than like 4 people. If more than 4 people do anything on the internet, people are like, the whole world's talking about it.
Well, there are like now Twitter accounts that are like, the guitar from Colin Jost's couch or
Yeah,
something
it's great.
like that.
I love it.
And it is funny. It's a funny thing to latch onto in some ways, but it's also like there's like a sweet story behind it too that no one will ever know about.
Well, and that's fun. Let them have their fun. I think, it's that thing of like, also
I'm right
like,
down the middle. I see both sides.
yeah. There's also, I do believe that there's like no bad press.
Yeah.
Because it's always going to like when people get mad at stuff, there's always going to be another person who's like, this is so stupid, and like become on his side. It's
He
just,
handled it well too. He like made a joke about it. I saw he like posted about it and stuff.
yeah.
It's just silly.
I think it's great. I think it's, it's like there's nothing bad about it,
Yeah.
It just,
Yeah.
it kind of,
guitar.
it could create more people to like, might be like, oh yeah, like, F Colin Jost, but it also makes a bunch of people like, these people are idiots. I love Colin, it's kind of this
One could say
thing.
the same thing. Like, did I position this camera here so that you can see the guitar behind me? And no, this is the most comfortable place for me to sit with it right now.
Yeah, same.
It happens to be there on the wall.
Did this pillow that I hate that is so weird and like distracting, like as if like a gay garbage can like spit out a pillow.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this bottle of water that I spray at the cat sometimes. Do I want you to see that? I don't know. Is that herbs behind you?
Yeah, a bunch of herbs from
herbs.
Flora Islands. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna do nothing. What are you doing?
I gotta go return some pants from Abercrombie and Fitch.
What do you mean go?
I gotta drop them off at the mailbox or the post office, really.
Huh.
That's a little annoying. Buying jeans is such a hassle online. Should have known better. They're too big.
I go with I know my size now in Levi's, and so I only do Levi's now.
But even then, don't you find that every pair of Levi's fits a little differently? I don't think they're that consistent. Really?
No. If you get the right, so my size now is pretty much, if I could get 31, that's like my shit. But I usually have to go 31, 32. And then I do a little roll, which I kind of like the way that looks. Because if I get 30 length, then they'll be too short. And so I have like some pants that are like that. And it's weird. They're almost like boxier in the legs if I do that too. So that's what I find. But I typically in the past I've always been with like Gap and Levi's is like kind of the same. So I just stick with that size. And
I just find that every time they have a different material, like it's the wash versus the blue versus the gray, like I feel like they all fit a little differently, and it's better if you can to try them on in a store. That's just me. So anyway, I gotta return these today. I got a meeting at a video thing with Danny Green at 1:30.
Nice. I have a call at like 3. What time is it?
It's 12:15.
I was pooping when you texted me like we were ready to go.
That's why we ran a little late.
Forgot.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just like in a sleep shirt. I completely forgot we were doing this. So
it's okay.
But yeah, you couldn't even tell. I was just as professional as always.
Exactly. I know you're not wearing pants. You took the shorts off just to show me.
Yeah.
You're good though? You're working on things? You're feeling good?
Yeah, I feel great.
Good.
It's weird. I've started to like kind of understand that this is like the way things are now. And
for now, not now.
But I don't think we're gonna return to where we were for a long time.
Yeah, maybe. I
Like
don't know.
you just gotta think like so many businesses are just going to be closed down and like and for a while, like even though like some businesses are going to take some time to get going again. I was actually thinking about going around and taking a bunch of photos of like my favorite restaurants in the neighborhood because they'll be gone.
Yeah, I hope not. Restaurants are the one thing I'm like, don't take restaurants away from us.
I know, but it's also like it's tough because now a lot of people can't even patronize these restaurants because they don't have jobs.
A lot of the ones near me are, well, I see, because they don't have jobs. Yeah.
Yeah. So like even if a
Yeah.
restaurant opens and they're like, okay, we're back. Well, you know, you got it. Yeah, there are definitely people who are ordering food in and keeping some restaurants around. I also worry that there's going to be a lot less of like small businesses like mom and pop shops and like only the corporations are going to like survive.
Yeah, I know. Me
But I
too.
don't know. It might work either way. It might be like, oh, small businesses are the ones that are surviving because they don't have to feed all these other stores like
Yeah.
like a big conglomerate would.
Yeah, I
But
guess we'll see.
I mean, you know more than me. You're the business major.
That's true. That's true. And, I'm still gathering data right now to figure it all out.
And I'm occasionally doing dance classes.
Yeah.
Lisa and I do kettlebells workouts. She lets me borrow her old yoga mat, which is this like beautiful pink mat, and we use kettlebells. I use the daddy one, and she uses the baby and mommy
How
one.
do you feel? It's good?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel like I'm in physically better shape than I was before.
Yeah, go figure. That's nice.
Yeah, but it doesn't really. It feels more like it feels more. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it feels like exercise, but it doesn't feel like I don't know, like heavy duty. Like I sweat, but not like crazy. You know, I don't know. But it's fun. I haven't like gone for a walk in a little while. You know, actually on Sunday, yeah, Sunday we walked around Red Hook.
Oh, nice.
We jumped in the car, threw on some masks, went to Red Hook, walked around, saw where we got married at the Liberty Warehouse. We actually went to Fairway because we were like, oh, we're here with the car. Let's load up groceries.
Yeah, we did Whole Foods the other day, and it was a whole thing. But
What'd you get?
Not a ton of shit. It's one of those places now I have like hoisin sauce,
Yep.
and like bonita flakes. You just see these things, you're like, oh, maybe I'll do something with that.
Yeah. We got like this like vegan fish sauce. It's been great.
Yeah.
I've noticed that like we go through these things that in the past you have for like
hold
a
on.
year. Oh,
I think came out.
oh, hi.
Okay, I'm back.
I noticed we go through things in the past that you'd have for a year straight, like olive oil or like butter or no, maybe not butter, but like these like jars or glasses of like avocado oil for one. I had one like canister or whatever of avocado oil for like 4 years, and now we go through it like in like 2 to 3 weeks, just because when you cook every single meal, which we're doing, it's just you go through those. Yeah, like red pepper flakes. Like I've purchased it like 3 times now because we like kind of put it on everything.
Yeah, it's good. It feels nice to not have anything wasted. One of my biggest pet peeves is like buying stuff and then you see it in the back of the cabinet and like, shit, I forgot I had this.
Yeah, and when you're working so much, you can't make the meals all the time. You buy less because you're like, I hate wasting too. So now it's like I know exactly we're gonna eat everything, so we could get all the cool stuff. That's fun.
Have you tried anything new that you haven't made before? Like,
yeah, I mean a ton of stuff. We made lobster for her birthday.
Were they alive when you got them?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was heavy.
Wow.
Looking back,
what was it like to kill them?
It didn't seem like anything. It didn't. I should have. I think technically I should have froze them so they sort of peacefully die in like a freezing.
Yeah, that's the most peaceful way to go.
And then apparently for the scientists that figured out their brains. But I just threw them in the water, boiled them because that's what I thought was the easiest, the quickest way to die. But actually, they say also just like putting a knife right through its head is the way to go.
Yeah, I've heard that.
You want to come in, Joe? Just Joe.
Just
say hi.
Podcast?
Yeah.
No, is it really?
Yeah, it's a podcast. Yeah.
I miss you, Lisa. She can hear me.
I miss you too.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I have good hearing.
Wow. Hey, happy birthday in person.
Said happy birthday in person.
Oh, thank you.
I made a promise to you that I will be the last person to wish you a happy birthday next year.
person to wish me happy birthday before you.
Oh. What's that?
Joe said happy birthday. Joe said happy birthday before me.
That's right.
Huh.
I was asleep because I go
Shots
to
fired.
bed at 10:30 every night.
Joe went to bed at 10:30 last night.
Yeah.
Last night I stayed up really late.
Wow, we're switching everything up. Next, I put it in my, don't be freaked out, but I put it in my calendar for next year to wish you birthday last. Happy birthday
I'm
last.
not freaked out.
Yeah. Okay. I do that a lot with things. I put them in my calendar and a year later, I'm like, oh yeah. Like I have this thing, Jenny Pecora got her angioma removed and every year I wish her a happy anniversary for it because I had it in my calendar.
Who do you wish a happy anniversary?
Jenny Pecora got an angioma removed from her face. And every year around June, I think it is, we have a memoriam for it.
Wow, you're so considerate.
I am. Yeah, that's my.
Lisa, you missed Jody Sellers. You could see him live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh wow. I don't even want to. I want to just have my imagination run away with itself as to what he looks like.
What do
I
you think
imagine
he looks like?
was wearing a suit.
Okay, no, you're wrong.
Okay.
Anything else? What else do you think? Odia, what else do you imagine? What do you think his like face looks like? His hair looks like?
Have you heard his voice?
I think I've heard his voice.
You've never went to his Instagram?
No.
Today was the biggest commercial.
You think I went to his Instagram?
You should. Everyone should. It's the Sellers Law Firm. Today was a pretty big Jody Sellers commercial.
Yeah.
Would you believe it if we told you that he had a wrestling belt?
Lisa said, "Yeah," like she knew.
Yeah.
Would
Well,
you believe
I heard it, and then I thought you guys. So are people watching this?
Not
people
live,
gonna
but
watch
yeah,
this?
yeah.
they
Well,
will? Yeah.
Not right now, but
In droves.
They're watching this.
Running out of time. Are they going to see that?
No, they won't see that. There's a thing popped up that said running out of time.
I'm like your mom coming in. I'm like, well, is this live? Hello.
I miss you guys. This is nice.
I'm on TV.
How funny was it last week when Chris held up the woman you were talking about?
Did you cut it out? I didn't even look.
Oh yeah, I did.
Name
very
it
funny.
now.
I know, right?
So you, and you
did-
have to bleep it out.
I don't want to do that to Casey.
Did you watch the ending of the YouTube?
Yes.
Like when I put over what's the Scambone, the video I put?
Yes, I did. That was great. It's from Chris Vert's bachelor party.
I watched a bunch of that stuff. So I made like a
porno.
I made a
A
whole
porno, basically.
Yeah. So when Chris got his bachelor party, I made like this whole porno video, but then there was still so much other footage that I didn't use because I didn't want it to be a crazy long video. But all like that entire sequence of when Pat is ripping Chris's shirt off is so funny. Pat is so drunk, but in the best way.
Well,
Did
you
you see at
pointed
least-
out that he keeps wanting Chris to rip his shirt off, which is so funny because you're also kind of like, did you do this just to be topless? Like, is this kind of like a projection? It's like, I rip your shirt off, maybe you rip mine off too.
No, Pat likes a fair fight. Pat likes when he does something bad, he wants the other person to also be guilty. He doesn't want to be
That's
just
true. That's true.
Pat is shy about his muscles.
I don't. You're the one projecting that Pat wants to show his muscles. I just think he wants to like break stuff.
I think he wants to show his muscles.
He might. I don't know.
I think we want Pat to show his muscles.
Every
more than
single
anyone.
person, man, woman, and child, wants to see Pat's muscles.
Remember when you guys did that music video and Pat is like topless
Yeah.
and he was like embarrassed?
Overboard, less vinyl video. You could check it out and see Pat
that's great.
topless.
Yeah. Always
It's-
plug in.
He's jacked.
What's this blanket situation you've got going on, Joe?
I utilize this on the microphone to prevent it from popping when I say peas, like a
Wow.
clown nose, and I think it works great.
It looks like you're like what is it, Linus or someone from like the Snoopy cartoons?
It's my comfort blanket. Yeah,
Yeah, it's your
Linus.
comfort blanket.
Did you notice anything in the background?
The spray bottle?
That is
That was
good.
something I brought up. Yeah,
The spray
that's the-
bottle he uses on his.
Guitar? That looks like our guitar. Is it ours?
yes.
No, our guitar's in the other room. Did you look? You can see through walls.
It looks like ours. Is it the same one?
I don't know. Is it a Fender Dreadnought? Lisa, is that the one?
What brand is our guitar?
Hmm.
Name a brand.
Is it a Fender
that's not a Fender.
Dragnot?
I was gonna say name any brand but Fender. I'm curious.
It's a
Martin.
no. It's
Oh, that's good.
But that is a brand. I know it's not ours, but I know it's ours. I know it
Very good.
exists.
I'm gonna say our brand, and I bet you that you've never heard of this.
Kawasaki.
No, but it is Takamine.
Takamine.
Yeah,
They make the
Takamine.
best guitar.
Yes, they do.
I was talking about Italian night before,
Oh, we did Italian night last night.
and I put on a little hat.
That's nice. Oh, I didn't know about the hat. He didn't mention that.
I think you may have. I think you got up at one point. I think I said it to Jody.
Oh, was
He
that
didn't
one
wear
of
the
his-
hat last night. I don't know. He's lying. He's done this in the past.
I got to get you guys this Jody Sellers hat. He gave one for Casey too.
I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah.
It's great because it's camouflage, but it's also that hunting color that's like really bright. Like, don't shoot me.
It's also that hunting color that you associate with a law firm, which is
Yep,
perfect.
that's right. It's a legal camouflage.
It's really like a mixing of genres.
Yeah, he showed up with a wrestling belt on his shoulder that was made. It said Jody Sellers Law Firm on it.
He doesn't understand how to brand a law firm, I'm thinking.
I think he knows his clientele.
I think he knows exactly what to do.
Okay, I don't know why I'm disparaging your sponsor. I love it.
Right. He likes wrestling, he likes hunting, and he likes this podcast. Those things all work together.
What kind
He's
of
a
law
passionate man.
does Jody Sellers do?
Oh, come
Family
on.
law.
What is first day, Lisa? He does family law. He helps
He
kids
hates-
that just got expelled.
He hates
Whoa,
torts.
whoa. He helps kids that got expelled from school. That's not like a legal thing.
They have school tribunals.
They have what? Weird.
I know.
Like Survivor. The other thing that he does that a lot of people can know now is that he'll do your will for $100.
That's cheap.
That is cheap. I want
It is
to
cheap.
get one done.
And if you tell him that you're a podcast listener, he'll do your will for you. And make sure to put us in
He'll
your
kill
will.
you for you.
Should we have a will and should Jody do it?
Oh, we should do it on. Oh, I guess we can't do it. It wouldn't be
I
good.
don't know. There might
do
be
on the
aspects of it. There might be aspects of it that you could do.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
No,
I have no clue.
I'll do that. I swear I will do that.
I'll do that. My social security number, all my assets.
Fantastic.
For the JV Squadcast.
I want to circle back real quick to Pat being topless.
Okay.
Do you remember, Casey, the first time we saw Pat like really jacked?
Yes.
Like it was in my bedroom, I think. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What era was this? This was like in college, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
We were having a sleepover at my house or something.
Yeah, but
remember
why did he
people-
start getting jacked? He got jacked for some reason. I think he just started going to the
Lifeguarding?
gym. No, he started going to the gym with like a roommate or something.
He had like
started,
the Brad Pitt Fight Club body. It was crazy.
yeah,
Really?
it was cool. Yeah,
And we were I think horsing around on my bed, and he took his shirt off, and me and Casey both stopped on our tracks. And we're like, "Oh my God, Pat, your body!"
and we like came at the same time. We came at the
It was
same time,
crazy.
and I yelled "Jinx," and then our cum couldn't talk
Yeah.
for a month.
Yeah, the cum froze in place.
I like
Until
how
we said it
supportive
again.
you are of each other's bodies.
Oh yeah,
Everything. We're very supportive friends. I think.
Yeah, you are.
you're gonna get Casey having that Brad Pitt body with those kettlebells. Is that right?
Kettlebell. Yeah, we do kettlebell workouts.
Yeah, that's good.
From a Groupon I bought in 2011. Still
It's
the
like a
gift that keeps
video
on
workout.
Brad Pitt. I'll probably be armpit.
giving. Casey has a beautiful body.
I know. We all do. We're all beautiful people.
Who's the ugliest?
Of what?
I know. I'm just kidding. I don't actually
I'll
want.
tell you who isn't. Jody Sellers.
That's right.
You don't know what he looks like.
In my mind, he's super hot.
He is. I think so. He's our age too, which we didn't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are different ages, so
Extremely accomplished.
But
I guess
he's
so.
actually so he's kind of right in. But well, I'm 34 still
He's 34.
until June, and then Lisa's 36.
no, you can't tell the podcast that. That's so embarrassing. They're gonna be so surprised. They thought I was 24 years old.
I did.
Did you know? I made a video a couple years ago with Knew It Being Cool, where I shot it at Farrell with a bunch of like high school kids.
Yeah, yeah. That's
and when
great.
there was also high school girls in it, and one of the commenters, you could find this, wrote, great video, but I think it's really inappropriate that you would put yourself dating a high school girl in the video.
Aw,
Girl
that's
in it is
sweet.
Lisa, but I guess she just blended in so well.
Oh my God. I was at that like cafeteria lunch table, like shooting a scene with all of these high school girls. And I was just like, how old do you think I am?
That's so fun.
It's always funny when you ask like a kid how old you are, like not that age, but like a young kid, because they're always just like 75.
They are
I know.
so
I
funny.
know.
Casey was like, we're going to do the video and like, we're going to double the time and then do slow motion like in that Weezer video. And they were like, hmm?
They didn't know either.
And then he had to show them the Weezer. They had no clue.
They'd heard of
Also, this
Weezer.
is a separate side note. There's a band with like this young girl in it that we know, that Casey knows more. And we were talking to her and we were said some blah, 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 Lauren, or blah, 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 the Fugees. Like we were just talking music and we said the Fugees and she was like, hmm?
Right.
She didn't
I mean,
know. And then we were, oh, you know, like
right.
it was like Lauryn Hill's like group. And she was like, oh, I love Lauryn Hill. And we were like, oh, what?
It was Diet Sig.
Interesting. Was it?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is interesting. You would think she would have done the Fugees. I thought it was the girl from the music video.
No,
that, like high school band.
Grounded for Life? No, it was Diet Sig.
Yeah. And we were like, how
Wow.
can you like Lauryn Hill? Like, how could you be like, I love Lauryn Hill? I'm like, not know.
Well, like, you know, people might love Rod Stewart and not know that he was in the Faces. So I could see that
That
happening.
is me.
Right.
I'm 24. Why would I ever know anything about Rod Stewart?
Right. Exactly. I don't know. But you know the Faces.
I
There
only
it
know
is.
the faces.
Here's a vanity question. When you guys are on Zoom, are you just constantly looking at your own image?
It's half and half.
I think when I'm talking, I look at myself. Actually, that's not true. Because before, Joe, I was telling a story and you kept like looking at your cat and I was...
Okay, so this is the second time that we hit the 40-minute limit. Okay, and this is the last section of this podcast.
Jim Bergio.
Jim
Jody
Bergio.
Sellers.
Wait, Joe Imbershini.
That's right. You remember the wrong name for me. I love it. I love that name. I wish that was me.
Imbershini.
I think we got cut off when I was saying that you were
The
looking
cat.
at your cat while I was talking.
I was self-conscious that I perceived that you might think I was ignoring you, but he was really going nuts over there, and I was worried he might break something. So I do I hesitate to say this, but I do apologize for that.
Haha.
I don't care. You
I know.
that's the least of the things I want you to
I
apologize.
only
for.
apologize about the things that are inconsequential.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's about it for
Yeah.
today. We've
We're-
started
love
our
you guys.
third Zoom.
Yeah, this is crazy. This is the most we've ever Zoomed with each other. I think Google released their
Zoom counterpart
yeah, as sort of a way to compete, and
competition.
maybe they don't have a time restriction, I think.
Way to be late on that
know,
one.
I know, I
Google
know.
should have been the number. Like, it's insane.
They've had it, but it was like a corporate thing that you have to do a subscription for, and now it's free.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Can you record?
I assume so, but I don't know. I woke up to that on my phone today for some reason. That was like one of the news articles that was sent to me. So,
Cool. Well, that's good news for everyone listening for some
that's
reason.
right. Maybe we can invite our Marco Polo people next time.
Yeah, we should actually plug the Marco Polo in case people want to get in on the action. So so we do a thing that's called the Marco Polo where we have a bunch of people and it's been lit lately.
Yeah,
Is it called Just for Boners?
that's
Not
well,
anymore.
podophiles, just for podophiles.
It's just for podophiles now, but it was just for boners.
Cool.
So
Yeah, very-
make sure to join. It's $50 and it gets you access. It's our version of Patreon, but you only have to pay once and it's very cheap.
And you Johnny come latelys, if you do join, you can be in an episode most likely if we do figure out how to do a Marco Polo thing.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice.
I can attest that the Marco Polo is very active and very fun.
Annoyingly active in some ways.
It's annoyingly
you.
active.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Joe, but before we go, I want to do two things for you. The first one is the way Paulie from Sopranos says "oh." Okay.
Oh, like that?
Yeah, he goes "oh." It's almost like
Yeah.
he's got like an E at the
Yeah,
front.
yeah.
Oh.
And Tony does "oh" like this. Oh, he's a little
Yeah.
straightforward with it.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
For that.
that's
That's nice. You guys enjoyed was this your third round of The Sopranos?
It's my first full round, though I've watched all the tentpole episodes a couple of times, but
Yeah.
I really watched the whole thing.
It's fantastic.
And now we're on to Mad Men. In one day, Joe, we watched the finale of Sopranos because we finished it. We didn't do season 1 in this watching. So I was like, let's just watch the pilot. Watch the pilot, incredible. And then we watched the pilot of Mad Men, and now we're into Mad Men. It's been wild TV.
And Mad Men, this will be like I've seen every single episode of Mad Men at least I think 4 times. So this is really like
I don't have such a drive to get into it for some reason because it's a dense watch.
It's really
so good. I actually honestly like every time I've like finished The Sopranos, I've been like sad after it that's done. And this, I'm like, it was such a great show to jump back into, like with Mad Men, that I don't even feel the loss of Sopranos just because I'm enamored with this world already.
They're cut from a similar cloth.
They are. It's a little. I find they're all fun. They're both funny, but I find Mad Men to be a little funnier.
Yeah.
And I find the characters on the whole to be like the kind of side players, like the bigger ensemble, to be more complex and likable.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's almost more pressure with Sopranos to do like the mobby stuff with like murders and the violence, and you kind of do want to see that, but
there are just better there are better women in a weird way in Mad Men. Carmela is like the greatest character like in a long time. She's just the best actor. She's just so good. But aside from her, there's no one that you're like, Adriana's okay. Like,
I love Adriana though.
No, but it's not like a Peggy or a Joan. It's just a very different thing.
It's also like, I like The Sopranos because it's our lifetime. Like we were roughly,
we were in the mob at the same time they were.
Age. It also takes place in the town over from mine. Like
that's so wild.
Like 5 minutes away.
Have you been to Fountains of Wayne?
Yeah, I've driven by it. I've never I've never needed a fountain.
Right.
But so I like that it's like our lifetime, but like there's a full season that's like pretty hard to watch, like with all of the gay stuff, like the way they handle it's pretty insane. And I mean, it's like accurate, but it's kind of crazy. And like, even like when Lorraine Bracco, like she gets like raped, I'm like, you have to like it just is tougher. Mad Men is a little bit more removed in history, so it feels a little less like of a sting for me, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that somebody, in that Conco group, somebody posted this thing that was on Reddit that was, the guy who rapes Lorraine Bracco. He's he's a worker. He's like an employee of the month, and she like sees that.
Yeah.
So someone took that photo with employee of the month and posted it and was like, "Can you please, send some love to my friend who's been working so hard during quarantine?"
That's funny.
There's a bunch of people being like, congratulations, Jesus, and all this stuff.
That's good. You guys are funny.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
It's insane. Like is insane. Yeah, it's insane. But then you have to realize, like, when The Sopranos came out, it was like that's the best television of all time. Sopranos on HBO, Sex and the City on HBO.
It was a good time.
6 Feet Under is probably around the same time too.
Yeah.
Those are my like all-time favorite shows.
Deadwood.
Yeah, I never got into Deadwood.
It's great.
It's what people say. Not for me, I don't think.
You might be surprised. It's pretty great, but I don't know. It's a show that you might want to watch with the captions on.
Oz.
The language is great.
That's Oz is earlier.
The Wire.
The Wire, I
but
never
watched.
That's
all HBO, right?
HBO is by far the best maker of television.
It's the Dream Network,
time.
Yeah.
What do we watch on HBO now that we love? Oh, Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies. Incredible. The Leftovers.
I just finally watched that.
Would you?
We were talking about that not too long ago. I just finally watched The Leftovers.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
What's it?
We just watched another show that was really good.
Well, people like Westworld. I don't.
I'm waiting to watch this.
I watch Westworld and I'm watching it.
Yeah, I'm just taking.
I
want more episodes to come so I could like watch them all.
Mm-hmm.
I personally like Divorce. I'm the only one.
I never saw.
There's another show that
High Maintenance.
That's great. Run.
Did you watch what?
Me and Allie are having some fun with that show Run right now.
Like is that good?
Yeah, I like it. I want
to watch it. It's the Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Donald Gleason and I forget her name. She's great though. She was in Nurse Jackie with Carmela Soprano.
There you go.
All right.
Well, that was a great TV wrap up, guys. Until next week.
What are you watching?
Yeah.
This is our YouTube channel now. Like, it's aside from like the podcast being in audio formats, it's also on YouTube. So people have been commenting.
Yeah, I got to check out the comments, but leave a comment on your favorite TV show right here.
Yeah. And subscribe here.
That's right.
And make sure to pray to hear.
And hit the X here.
And I hate him. Bye. I love you.
Bye.